Hi guys, it's been a long time no see, so I cannot remember if I have played a game led by a rabbit before. And I don't think I ever played a Lonely Tunes game. No, this is my first one. So if you didn't have enough rabbits, eggs, and attitude, wait a minute. I played Raymond the Rabbit. Damn, I lied in the beginning. Well, whatever. So this 2D platformer does its best to make a mean and machine-obsessed rabbit into an unlikely hero full of grit and mettle. The game takes on a classic platformer stance with 12 obstacles, interesting controls and navigation, and a role-playing game backbone that makes the gameplay far deeper than it was expected. While there is a fair amount of perceived and felt repetitiveness to the gameplay, the storyline and action help to alleviate some of the point from being too noticeable. Mixing mechs and rabbits helps as well. So get on your hoping shoes, tuck those ears back and go, and let's get bouncing on these vid. Let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. Well, while the story will certainly kick the start of the entertainment, the gameplay treats the adventure just right. And I will talk about the stories a little bit later. The game is typical 2D platformer at its core. You're moving about the obstacles, destroying things, and then making it throughout a lightly tricky puzzles to progress. Sure, the enemies, but the key to the fun here is navigating the obstacles and doing it fast paced. While going along with the story, not a bad combination of the things that we are about to break down into the rabbit-sized pieces. So, starting with an actual platforming, you control Stomp in the Mechs suit. So, the suit allows him to destroy junk, uncover pots, and quickly jump around and sometimes slide from the places. The core gameplay is easy to pick up on the rather fun when you get an roll with the movement or an progression. Occasionally, you will run into the small obstacles like a button that temporarily unlocks a wall, and you must figure out how to slide throughout the time in the progress. These little moments of the danger or stress are there to provide an adventure flavors to experience, kind of like Indiana Jones but rabbit scale when it's not too difficult to circumvent. And that honestly fits the bill just perfectly, as you're trying to cater a younger audience while making a challenge for an older one. So anyway, there is nothing really cooler about um, knocking and hack out of the piles of square junk to scale away your up and down in the wall and meet a decent challenge on your way to the end of the stage. And it's even better when you don't have to give a single thought about the control scheme. The mechanics and controls of Rusty Rabbit are fun, easy, and light enough that anyone, young and old, can get into quickly. Moving around in the game and navigating obstacles is just entertaining as heck. That alone should be enough to attract all types of the gamers to this title. So, saying about the story, right? When the things get cold, humans get going, and that's exactly what happens at the beginning of Rusty Rabbit's story. Another ice age emerges, and humans move from the planet, leaving rabbits to rule. The rabbits eventually evolve into intelligent animals, and being dig up human technology to better their world. Stomp Digger takes on the task of leading the charge with his mechanized robot ride while figuring out regrets and obstacles. When he meets a group called the BBEs, his entire view of life begins to change, and everything he knew about his civilization becomes bigger, even if it's eventually bittersweet. While there is far more to Stam's story, what you get is typical 2D platforming narrative that creates a great job of leading the players from point A to point B while keeping the story engaging and impactful. The overbearing tone of those more here that meets with the eye is undeniable with the narrative. So as an adult, it's easy to see what was being told and throughout the moments to come it. Ultimately, I did enjoy the simplicity of the story and how it started with the characters, which gave them time to develop. While in any time, characters is a good time. Overall, the story is good, entertaining, and the characters are endearing. This is one of the big narrative that will take younger and older gamers down different paths, which makes the game even more delightful. So yeah, and what was I was saying? I was wanting to talk a little bit about the RPG, and as you get deeper into the adventure, Stump begins to find the parts. These parts help to provide upgrades for Stump and create the new pieces of the mech he is controlling. This is kind of the like Sandland and Bandai Namco, where you can collect the parts, upgrade materials, and visibly become an even greater threat to the enemies along the way. Much like the controls and mechanics, it is simple to upgrade the materials, and the reward for doing so makes the game far more interesting and deeper than expected. For example, the first part of the Stomps mech that I upgraded was the Mech's arm. It's because more powerful and was good at whacking enemies and junk. Seeing different piece of the mech and benefiting from it creates motivation to keep playing, exploring, and earning the upgrades. Ultimately, it's impressive how much there is so to upgrade in the game and what the results of those upgrades mean for the gameplay. Honestly, didn't expect what was delivered in this beer, but it was a welcome sign. And while I was adore the mechanics, I'm good at the story, and I'm incredibly impressed with the backbone of the game it contains. It does have its own flaw. Nothing is perfect, so there are two flaws that I noticed right off the game. The first con was the length of the time it took to get right into the game, which was maybe an hour. The game guides you gently throughout mechanics and propose, including crafting parts and upgrades, and it takes a long time. Um, for a real long time. Sometimes you just need to be shout out of the nest, and this the game needs at the start, but it doesn't deliver it. Thankfully, the game does give you some Metroid-like freedom to go back and forth as you need once you get going, which makes it far less restrictive than linear. It also provides you with a minor amount of exploration at your leisure, but it feels like it doesn't trust the gamer from that get-go, which might turn a few gamers off it. And if people can make it beyond its initial launch point and the tutorial, the game opens up. And the second flaw was how repetitive it felt during the gameplay. I loved moving the stump and hitting max around the levels, and I cherished the climb walls, so whacking enemies and just destroying things to progress. It's a whole arcade concept that feels familiar, and it works for the most part. But after a while, the game doesn't show signs of repetitiveness with the gameplay, which can fool um, take your attention away from being garnishing motivations to trying to jump up throughout the cutscenes and the story progression. The story doesn't does its very best of distract from repetitive gameplay moments, but doesn't go do enough. So, in a conclusion, Rusty Rabbit from developer Nitro Plus is a fun, deep adventure led by fun characters, good story, easy mechanics, and a strong RPG backbone. I slightly recommend. It's a great game. Thanks you for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Peace.